Welcome back to MidPoint, professor of political science at the University of Pennsylvania, specializing in modern history and politics of the Middle East, Ian Lustick. And he is the senior research analyst at CAMRA, the Committee for Accuracy in Middle East Reporting in America. Helene Innie. Helene, I wanted to pick up with you because you started off and we were talking a little bit about what is the disenfranchisement of the Jewish state at this point. Is it your opinion and the opinion of others that there are countries in this world right now, and not only that, but media outlets that will consistently advocate for that are anti-Israel, and that will always push for that no matter what?
Absolutely, and many leaders, as you pointed out, the Iranian leadership is very open about the idea of getting rid of the Jewish state and eliminating it, and in the worst ways. And there are news outlets as well, as you point out. One quick thing that I think is important for all viewers to remember is that there wasn't a single place where Jews were the minority in the Middle East where it ended well. My father was personally expelled from Iraq along with his entire family because Jews were a minority in Iraq without political power. And so any news outlet that sort of promotes this anti-Israel view, or any column that promotes the idea of the truth is, I think Ian Lustick himself, if I understand correctly, I think he understands that his ideas would lead to the type of situation we're seeing in Iraq, where today just 23 people were killed in car bombings. He admitted in his column that it's going to take blood and magic and conflict for his preferred ideas to move forward. And I think it's, in my view, it's just wrong to sit in your comfortable ivory tower in Pennsylvania and call for other people's blood, for Israeli and Palestinian people's blood.
All right, Ian, I'm going to give you a chance to counter that. Go ahead.
Well, thanks. I'm not calling for anybody's blood, but anyone who does insist that an unjust and oppressive order must remain permanently is calling for lots of blood in the future. The fact is that democracy anywhere in the world, including in the United States, is not something that comes easy. We lost 600,000 Americans in our Civil War over exactly how to be democratic in this country. That's typical of how democracies emerge. It's not necessary, but let's not fool ourselves about how difficult it is. And yet we are committed to it. And I think equality and democracy are the only ways in the long run that Jews will be safe in the Middle East. I agree with what was suggested, that there's increasing amounts of anti-Semitism in the region, increasing amounts of intolerance for a Jewish state which behaves in ways that outrages the local populations. There has to be a way found, and it won't be easy, and it's not simple, so that those peoples can live together.
Okay, then I'm going to stop you there on the people living together.
Non-exclusivist acceptance of the principle of self-determination is key.
Okay,
you can't say for Jews, but not for Palestinians.
People living together, I only got about 2 minutes left, so let's find a solution here then. Ian, I'll give you a first shot here, less than a minute, please. What do we do then to keep the state of Israel alive, bring peace to the region, and give the Palestinians their own future?
We start small. Let's encourage the Palestinians in East Jerusalem to vote. They have the right to vote in municipal elections, and see if them sharing power in East Jerusalem with secular Jews can change the momentum of events on the ground in that torn city.
Helene, is it even possible to share power with secular Jews as he suggests?
Everything is possible. The key thing is to abandon this false assumption that if the sides thus far haven't been able to reach agreement that leads to democracy and two states, that it's entirely Israel's fault. That's the kind of ideas that are promoted in the New York Times and by Mr. Lustick, Professor Lustick. What we have to do is end the situation where the Palestinian leadership, the Palestinian Authority, and its leader Mahmoud Abbas is given some sort of shield from scrutiny. The New York Times ran only one opinion piece in the past year focused on scrutinizing the Palestinian Authority, and it ran 27 opinion pieces focused on blaming Israel for the situation.
All right, let me ask you this real quick. I mean, I hear that, but we've only got a short time left. I want to come back to you again on this one, and let me try to be as simple as I can on this. Ian, is it your opinion then, and the opinion of many, that it is Israel that is the roadblock that stops everything? It is Israel and their policies.
Political scientists know that what matters is power. Israel has so much more power than the Palestinians that when we talk about who determines the future of those peoples, that's what determines it, what Israel's policies are and what America's policies are toward Israel. That's the key factor.
Okay,
no question.
Helene, then I come to you. I guess you would say then on the other side, it would be the Palestinians that are the roadblock.
Abbas could have said yes to Ehud Olmert's offer, Abbas could have not walked away from Netanyahu's negotiations. And as long as he's given a pass, he's not going to feel the kind of pressure and the expectation for him to play ball to reach a peace agreement. That's getting in the way of peace.
Gentlemen, we could sit there and we could do this, I think, for hours on end, because it seems like no matter where we go in all these discussions, it always comes down to somebody in the middle has got to compromise somewhere, and that always seems to be the most difficult thing. Ian Lustick, Helene Innie, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. I'm sure we'll do it again.
Thank you.
All right, breaking back as the car coach drives in with the single most important piece of advice you will ever need when it comes to buying any sort of vehicle. And at 51 minutes after the hour, one man feeding the homeless has become an international cause. That's all part of the water cooler when we continue right here on MidPoint.